Hello and welcome everyone to today's Kustomize Bug Scrub. Today is Wednesday, May 11th. Before we get started, does anyone have an issue that they would like us to look at first or any point of discussion that they would like to bring up? So today's bug scrub, we're going to use the customized triage board as usual. We have a number of brand new issues that we haven't had a chance to look at. So this time I've sorted by creation date. And I think we'll go from there, but if anyone has suggestions, feel free to speak up at any time. So I guess we can just get started with the first one. The idea here, by the way, is to go through and gain context on the customized issues to get some triage done for the project. And also, if you see something that you're interested in working on, we can really use help with these issues. So please do speak up. We're happy to help discuss the issue further and give you pointers as to how to get started with the issues that we go over today. All right, so without further ado, we are starting off with a question. Best practices for handling secrets. Someone coming from the Argo CD project. Right. Does anyone have any thoughts about this one? They're asking how to manage secrets. If you haven't had a chance to read through, they have a few ideas about how that can be done in Kustomize, but given Kustomize's philosophy of committing everything, like we do have a secret generator, for example, but that implies that you're committing your secrets to get.
We use, what do you call it? We use something that uses external secrets with ours. So our stuff is stored in AWS and gets pulled down. So all we do is dump the name of the secret into the customized builds.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume that's not like a great answer, but that's just what we do.
Yeah, I know some folks use encrypted secrets. That's not a customized feature either, but it makes it safer to commit to your repo and still in the spirit. I don't think Kustomize particularly has a strong opinion about this. So I'll save this one to write a more detailed response later. I'm not quite sure what to say off the cuff. Like there's not, the concern is valid. Like you do need to make a decision to make sure that what you're doing is secure. And we do want at the same time to be committing as much as possible, but committing secrets in clear text is not something that you want to do clearly. So I don't know, the recommendation is almost out of the scope of Kustomize. Like there are a lot of possibilities outside it that I'm not in a position to make a recommendation about. So I'll probably write something to that effect. Sounds like another question here. Here we go. Is it version? What version?
I read this one this morning. They want to apply labels to metadata .labels and also like pod templates from my understanding of this issue, but not selectors, which was an issue we had a while ago. And I think we had a PR that fixed it, but I don't think it's been released yet. So I can respond to this issue with the relevant links and let them know it's coming soon.
That would be great. I'll assign you here. And I agree that we merged that very recently, so we haven't done a release of it yet. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I should be pasting these in the chat. Sorry about that. Here's the one we're looking at right now. Let me know if I need to increase the font size or anything in the present view.
I assume that y'all are reading the YAML tags and that's what controls this behavior here. In which case I think that this would be like an upstream problem and not a customized problem.
Yeah, probably. Are they dealing with custom resources or anything? I'm still just reading the beginning here. There's a lot of content to the example.
Yeah.
Like which thing's being patched here? Let's see. Yeah, they're patching a custom resource. Let's chart replica count. No.
Oh, I guess it's specifically the custom resources what has the problem.
That's my theory. It could also be the strategic merge patch implementation. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this scenario here. Because like when I'm guessing they want to retain, because they're saying no bug is the one that has the null key retained, which is coming from original, not from the patch. So I'm guessing if they want that retained, they want to be like sending that to the API server so that when the API server applies this strategic merge patch, that key will get deleted. But like if they ask us to do a strategic merge patch on the client side as well, then we're doing a strategic merge patch, so we'll remove the key in theory. So that's my second theory about what could be going on. So in no bug, they're just taking the original resources, and has bug, they're applying a patch to the thing that had replica count null, and they're patching values chart, whatever. They're patching the same field. Wait, does auto scaling stick around? Yes, it does. So I think that's actually probably it, not to do specifically with the CR, but with the fact that we're actually applying a strategic merge patch. So how are we supposed to know that they actually want us to keep that key for later, right? Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, because they're not applying the patch at all in that case. Yeah, okay. A VARs bug. So even if this is a bug, we likely wouldn't fix it because VARs is deprecated, just for starters here. Let me paste that in the chat. Specifically, this part is not being replaced. Four, five, four.
I'm trying to find the documentation, but if I remember correctly, you can't use a var anywhere, right? I thought there were only like specific locations.
Honestly, I don't have that much experience with VARs. They were already deprecated when I joined the project, and I haven't used them personally, so I don't even know. But let's see if there's a handy link we could give them about that. That would be potentially good for solution. Oh, you've got it.
Oh, the link I pasted is for replacements, which the docs say replaces VARs. Yeah, there you go.
That's also a good idea. I should definitely point them to that. Let's see if we already have some content about what Natasha said.
I think there in that doc, there's a link to this file, varreference.go, which I think is all the places you can put vars.
Ah, I see. Okay. Great.
But yeah, replacements can go anywhere. So if that's what they want to do, they should probably switch.
Please note VARs feature. So this one's definitely not a bug. Kind support and triage not an issue. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Here's the next one in the chat. Right. Resource URL query parameters.
This is a bug from Anna, who is here. So she might be able to provide some more context.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can just summarize briefly. So I worked on an issue that was to write more comprehensive integration tests for URLs under resources. And so I was reading the remote build markdown under examples, and it said that we support resource, we support query string parameters along with our URLs. And so I wrote a few tests for that in the file is like API crusty remote load underscore test. And what we observe right now is that 3 of them throw errors, and I documented the types under the numbered list there. So if the URL has no parameters, so if it doesn't have a ref, I guess that's the most popular one that fails, I believe for both HTTPS and SSH. And then the second is if an HTTPS URL to a directory has the parameter ref equals master. For some reason, that's also failing. And these fail, some of them are timeouts. Yeah.
Weird. I mean, that sounds like a real problem that we want to fix. So I'm inclined to accept this. Do we have anyone who's interested in working on it? Oh, I'll just accept it for now. We already have kind bug, yes. Yeah.
Oleg responded in the chat that they might be interested.
Oh, great. Excellent. Can I assign you on GitHub? What's your handle?
Yeah, it's Oleg SU. I'll try to take a look about it.
Oh, maybe you're
I
not
think
a
You can't-
work member.
Yeah,
They'll
you
have
can't
to-
cite people if they haven't participated in the issue yet.
Okay. Okay, I already pasted this right, so okay. If you could assign yourself, that'd be great.
Thanks. Yeah.
Awesome. Anna, this is another one that you're mentioning?
Yes, this one's also me. I filed a couple. So this is for the same code that I wrote, and so we don't specify in remote build markdown that we support ports, but we say that we support git clone URLs, and on the git clone page they say that they support ports. And when I added tests for the default ports, I guess the real use case would be custom ports, right? If people want to use different ports, but I use the default ports, and they worked locally when I was trying on Git repositories. I can't try on subdirectories because Git doesn't natively support that, but the tests fail when I write our integration tests.
All right, so this is a test you already have here, yeah. Yeah, I see. Interesting. I don't have any objection to supporting this exactly, but I would be interested if this is something folks actually need. Because we have so many issues that we need to tackle, and I'm wondering if this is
Right, yeah, like Natasha also said the same thing. I just filed it just in case we needed it as reference, but like, don't feel too strongly.
okay. So you can accept it and maybe just say, how about that? And is it a bug or a feature at that point? like, that's not a regression as far as we know, right? That's just something that's never worked.
Unclear. I mean, something we could also
I've-
do is in remote build, just say we don't support ports. Like, I'm also down with that. I just found it a little surprising because we said we did, and then there was no, I guess, qualification.
As in like remote build, it says we support this specification entirely, and then we only support some things of it.
Like it says we support git clone URLs, but this is a feature of git clone URLs, and it doesn't work, right? So I'd be okay if we said, like, hey, like, no custom ports.
Right, okay. So maybe in
Yeah.
the meantime, that's a good thing to do, is just like update the docs to say that they're not supported.
Okay, I can change that. That's like a very small fix, right?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
great. And then I think this is your third one, perhaps. You just skip right to that.
Okay, yeah, basically all the SSH tests fail, I think, because the server doesn't have SSH keys.
The server that runs the CI pipeline, so our server. I see.
Yes, yeah.
So like this can work in general, it just doesn't work on CI.
Like, it works on my local machine.
Got it. I honestly have no idea how difficult that would be to add to our particular CI setup.
Yeah, I have no idea how we would even go about doing that. So I just told her to skip the test and see.
Are they skipped generally, or like skip if CI equals true kind of thing right now?
They're skipped generally, but we could add a gate so that we can run them locally.
Yeah, I guess most of the time we're running on CI anyway, because you have so many tests that take a long time to run locally, but like we do always run the test locally during release. So that would still get us sort of a last ditch, we broke something before we release it signal. But yeah, we should look into this at some point. I don't have any ideas just off the top of my head. Like, I don't know enough about the details of our CI setup to have any useful information about how to do it, but that seems like another easy accept. Not a process I like in general to rely on something like that, a last minute test run, but it's better than nothing if we can't, we can have that safeguard in place immediately instead of after weeks or months that it will take to fix the CI server. And that's better than nothing. Thanks for adding those new tests, by the way. Those are tests we've never had before for a very underdocumented feature.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Was that it, or there were three you said, right? There's not another one. Yeah.
I believe that's it.
All right, so this one, just pasted in the chat. Even in Kustomize 454. That looks incorrect. There's
Yeah,
like it's
that's
not targeted to any container in particular, right?
Well, I think you're right.
Does this container even have a name in the base? It's a little hard to read. Containers env. No, there it is. Name auto test.
I don't think the name is the merge key, but I'm looking through the open API to check.
What else would it be?
Oh, you're right. It is the name.
Yeah, it actually removes. That's a little strange, I guess, that it removes everything, but which we'll see. Problem is that launch is missing the merge. And
Is there, this is like sort of related, but is there an easy way for a user to figure out what the merge key is? Like for me, I go through the entire like open API JSON file, which is huge. But if I'm just using Kustomize and I want to write a merge or like a patch strategic merge, like how do I know what the merge key is?
that's a good question. I would probably do the same if I wasn't sure.
Sorry, is the cron job YAML valid?
The original one in this example here.
Yeah. Under containers, they start a YAML list with env. And is that right? Oh, wait. Oh, I see. I see what's happening. Never mind. I got confused. I got it now. Just
Yeah,
wasn't in the order I expected it to be in.
Yeah, that got me too. I thought it was missing as well, but it is there. Right. So, the merge key. What would we recommend people look at? Nothing comes to mind. I don't know if I've ever seen like a good doc about what the merge key is. It could be in the API docs in theory, maybe. I'm really not sure. Usually it's name, right? But I think what's
Like
container
for
ports is another
yeah,
case where it's
container
something-
ports, it's not name. So I was just wondering because we've had several issues about that as well. If there was just an easy way to tell users where to look. But if not, like, I don't know, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, that is a good question. I don't know either though, unfortunately.
Is that something we could auto generate docs for based on something?
Yeah, it's in the open API. Do I have a link now?
Okay.
I want the API docs though, not this. How about this? Is that it? So if we like take a look at Pod template spec. Oh, yeah, there we go. It is in here. Merge keys. So there you go. That's where we can point them. It's just the reference docs.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I guess I can't link all the way down to there, but I could link to here and then add that to my answer. There we go. Good suggestion. I like it. Oh, we already looked at that one. Never mind. This, I feel like it could be related to the other cube builder issue that we've all been commenting on. 385 does not exist. Oh boy. $385.
I think it's just the thing where our install script doesn't work on old versions, which I think we said we weren't particularly inclined to support.
Yeah, I think we had somebody open a PR with it, but there was something problematic about oh, it's not that one. Maybe it got closed. I could have sworn I reviewed a PR where someone felt strongly about it and they updated the script, so we were, if we got the contribution, then maybe, let's see. It's this one. Yeah, it was closed as rotten. Right, yeah, we couldn't take, they had copied something from Stack Overflow, so we couldn't take it as is, and it was also overcomplicated compared to what it needed to do, so I made a suggestion, but the contributor disappeared. I think if somebody wanted to pick this up, we could merge it. It's not super complicated to do, but it's not high priority for us because we don't really support the older versions. Was this linked to an issue? 4130, just open still. Yeah, non-module versions. Let me just check. They're complaining about 385. I actually have the list here about what that is. 331. Wait, but 385, does that even exist? In the first place? Do you know?
We don't have a 385 tag. The last one is 331. Let me check the releases. The release is going to be so far. 3.8.
Yeah.
3. Let's
385.
see. I see a 380 and a 389.
Can you paste that in the pages in the chat so I can link to it?
Sure. Oh, there was a 385.
Oh.
Here it is.
Is it a module tagged version or tagged in the older way? Because if it's module tagged, then it is a different bug. Let's see.
1 sec. My tags are getting truncated. You apparently can't search through tags, so I'm just scrolling through all the pages.
Yeah, here it is. Tag Kustomize 385. That actually should work.
Oh.
that actually look like our installation procedure? So, right, that's the. Do they say what architecture they're on? Because that's
Wait,
another-
they're if you look at the URL they use, they're using master, not 385.
Yeah, doesn't the script look for the version that you've given though? So it should, like, they should use the version on master of the script, and then, yeah, if the argument is given, then it.
But they're
It looks
not
like it's not expecting
giving
the
an
V.
argument, are they?
Yeah, they are here, right?
Oh, I see it. Never mind.
It could be that they're using. Here, customized version 452, blah blah blah. Darwin ARM64. I bet that's it. There's no ARM64 related release for that old version. So this is a duplicate of that other one that I thought it might be related to. Where is that one? This. Which we did not produce. I forget what the first version was that we produced. It was a long time ago, but V3 for sure. Or probably duplicate. Or no, it's kind duplicate. And it's also
Apple Silicon strikes again. I've been having this problem with a lot of tools that are at work too.
okay. Specifically from mfile. Yeah, our parsing for this is very naive. If I remember correctly, it's like split on lines, split the equal sign. Interesting that it does quote the first one when it ended in a colon.
Can we just quote everything that has a special character? Is there any downside to that?
Probably not, because the value has to be a string, right?
think so.
Um, anyone interested in working on this one?
Well, another thing we'd have to look into is whether it's customized code or Go YAML code.
True. Go YAML could be involved, but I think regardless, we should have the ability to force the quote style because Go YAML lets us force a
Okay.
style on a given string, right?
I
That
see.
would mean it would be messier to fix, but I think it should still be fixable. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding. I wonder if we have other things related to this. I want to take a quick second to see, because it does ring a bell. There's something else about config map, env parsing specifically. Not in that search anyway, config map and this is, well, that is quite new, so maybe it's not what I was thinking of, but no, we did respond.
Yeah, that was a while ago. I think I said a similar thing, like we should just quote all of them unconditionally.
Interesting. String and surrounded by double quotes. Yeah, they had this situation where they were actually quoting some things in the file and not quoting other things, and I remember this from last time. Yeah, let's say related to doing so would also solve that. Yeah, that's a good one to work on. It might not be super straightforward because working with the YAML code is always a bit of a pain, but that would be pretty valuable if somebody watching the recording is looking for a bug to look into. I wish the bot would remove this label when I apply the other one. Okay. All right, where are we? Another question. Let's see. They're not actually reaching to a specific container, so those are not valid patch paths. Yeah. I see, Marcus, you may look into the quoting issue in the future. Thank you for speaking up. I guess by app, they probably mean deployment, because they seem to be targeting deployments. How would you do that? Well, it depends. Like, do they all have the same container name? Do they have, because that's kind of the crux of the issue when it comes to targeting subcontainer fields. You could target them by index, but do you have a consistent number of containers in your deployment? I don't think JSON path ops accept wildcard. Does anyone know that for sure?
They do not, but replacements does. So if they're just trying to replace things, they can look into that.
That's a good point. Pull up that replacement stock again. Oof. The architecture on our doc site needs work. It takes too many clicks to get to these things. Luckily, we're working on that. That's another area if anyone wants to get involved. We're working on porting the content over from the site to the new work in progress site that we have on our repo. And it's a fairly straightforward matter of moving the content piece by piece. We have one person helping us with that, but we have a lot of content to move. So that's another opportunity for involvement at this time. Right. So do we have a particularly relevant example for them?
I think if you search for wildcard, there's for an asterisk or something. We try to find it too.
Okay, there's one there. Yeah, sure. That's a good section. Yeah. Okay. Wish we had a nicer label for that. Not an issue sounds harsh, but I don't think anything else really applies. So, right. Thanks, Natasha. Just give a quick example. So, containers 0. Okay, I think we have time for one more. I can find my spot in here. Let's see. There we go. I think we responded to this one already. Let's take a quick look. Specifically. Oh, we didn't. So there's probably a duplicate issue somewhere. We definitely cannot do this because I think, and Natasha would know best, but the Helm feature actually used to have something very similar to this that let you pass flags through, but it was deemed a security risk and we had to remove it. So we definitely can't accept this feature request. I could have sworn Natasha had a good reply for this one though. I'm gonna just take that and like look for Natasha's previous reply to a very similar question past and link to the plan where we have an external transformer that's going to aim to have a field for every single flag so that we can support all those things. One last one. This is a KYAML issue specifically, not customized by the looks of it. That does seem kind of random. Yeah, it doesn't, can anyone think of a reason that would be desirable that we would add this only if it ends in a new line, whereas the new line doesn't even really belong to the value.
So it's just the new line is what's triggering it, is what you're saying, or what they're saying.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if we just did like a check, like new line, detect ends in new line, is there anything else after it? Well, I guess if it ends in the new line, there can't be anything else after it. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I wonder what specifically is causing that. If it's Go YAML, then although like it sounds like it would be fine to fix, it might be in practice impossible for us right now. I'm also interested in whether or not that causes an actual problem for them or if they just don't like the
Well, if it's if it's Go YAML, then we could, if it ends in the new line, we could just clip the new line, unless that breaks the file formatting. I don't know.
They're just processing this through the byte reader, right? It like they're just trying to round trip it and it's getting that very slight transformation. Am I understanding that right? Because they're giving us this reproduction case, which is just the same thing. I think I'll try to reproduce this one, especially because it's on a slightly old version of KYAML. I think we're at v13. 013 rather. And then that might give me an idea of whether it's in Go YAML. So they said they're going to try to fix it themselves, which is fine, but I should give them fair warning that it won't be possible if it's coming from Go YAML. We don't want to do anything crazy to hack around their behavior. All right. So we're out of time. Thank you everyone for coming. And for those of you who volunteered to pick up an issue, thank you very much for helping out. That's all for today. As always, you can find us in Slack and on GitHub, and we hope to see you next time.